Future Technologies Conference 2022, the second session. I would like to remind our guests that we will mute audio and video during the session. You can use the chat box below to ask your question. The speaker will answer questions in chronological order, and we will skip repeated questions. We will try to finish 3 to 4 minutes before the next session, if there is a next session. Today, this session is the final one. The recording will be shared with you in the comments of the event on LinkedIn. I welcome our distinguished speaker, Mr. Ahmad Manzoor. He is the founder and CEO of Pakistan Blockchain Institute. With 22 years of experience in ICT solutions, architecture and pre-sales field, providing training for the past 14 years nationally and internationally, in addition to more than 1,000 talks as public speaker nationally and internationally. Ahmed achieved 150 certifications. He's a trainer with multiple well-known organizations. He volunteered for COVID-19 initiative with digital identities and vaccination travel passport on blockchain in Pakistan. He helps companies to digitally transform according to their futuristic needs and prepare them for the next 10 to 20 years. You are welcome, Ahmed, to start. I shared the moderator with you. You can share your screen.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mr. Ahmed, for having me here. And just let me share my screen. Hope everybody is watching my presentation. Are you able to review my presentation? Just confirm me that.
Yes, but if you can make it full screen.
Okay, sure, I can do that. Okay, now it's perfect?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So hope everyone is enjoying this session right now, and again, thank you very much for our International Coaching Masters for having me here, and to provide my I'm just going to share my experience and how the futuristic technologies will change the world in near future, because we are at that space and at that place these days where everything is going to change. Like, we are looking forward to the driverless cars and other things, that how these things will change ourselves. If we go to, in the past for the 20 years, like in 2000 and before that, the all things has been very much changed right now. We have no idea at that time that when we are using floppies and everything, that we could go somewhere where you have heard about the movie name Back to the Future told us in 1980s. So I'm going to picture everything what is going to be in the next 10 years, inshallah. So this is me. Mr. Ahmad already have introduced me very well, that I have almost 22 years experience, and I'm founder and the CEO of Pakistan Blockchain Institute and ANZ Technology, working in Pakistan since last 22 years in Middle East and Europe as well. Most of the programs I'm running here in Pakistan are the initiatives like for the educational and for the capacity building, to tell people that how the technologies will work in the near future, and mostly in blockchain and other technologies. So this is who I am. Okay. So the first thing we need to understand, that what is technology? Normally, what we think that the technology is always basically based on computers. And that is a misconception for everybody. That is typically a misconception. But the technology is which will make your life easier. the day, make the easier for your daily tasks, make yourself more productive. That is technology. Now technology is not always about not always about the computers, like the washing machine. That is a technology because now it saves time. Your burner, now it saves time because if we go into the past, we burn things with stones. And the fridge, that is also a technology. So we are using scientific techniques and materials to productive ourselves and make ourselves to achieve our objectives very easily and complete our daily tasks with in minimalistic time. So that is technology what we are using. So there is another terminology these days are very common, like smart homes, like smart cities. Like, so what is smart? Smart is basically self-monitoring and reporting technology, and that is based on artificial intelligence, where we are using sensors, databases, and wireless access points to provide information to you say that. To make ourselves more productive. Normally, you have heard that when technology will come, we can live more. What does it mean? That is the terminology we all heard. The technologies, that is a very normal terminology, that we live more when the technology will came up. That means if there is a task which have been completed in 24 hours in the past, but now that is going to complete in 2 hours. So that means we are saving 22 hours of our life in a day. So what we can do with those 22 hours, we can use them. I normally preferably say, okay, I'm going to sleep in those hours, right? So that is basically what is going on. There are few projects actually. What misconceptions people think of? Normally, our governments and many other people came into the front and said, okay, this is the project we have done, and this is a smart city project. Like, there is you have seen cameras in the streets somewhere, and people normally think that is a smart city project, but that is not in the real. So this is the misconception, because in the smart city, by the end of this presentation, I am trying to provide you the information that almost 38 projects will be there for the smart cities, and which are I will tell you that which are those projects. Obviously I might miss some, but there is something. So there is always some misconception in all the countries. Like, you have seen that picture on Facebook these days, that is very viral picture, uh, when James Webb picture came up of the galaxies, which are 10 billion years ahead from us, away from us, and there is a guy who is stealing something, and we are unable to see his face. So that is the thing which I'm talking about, that not everything we see or we heard is basically the right thing. So there is another concept of the industrial revolution. We all heard that the industrial revolution 4.0 these days is in the process, but in actual the industry 5.0 came up already in 2020. Actually, the white paper is out, but industrial revolution 5.0 is basically based on industrial revolution 4.0. If that industrial revolution IR 4.0 is not deployed, then we are not able to move into IR 5.0. So after every few years, there is a revolution came up in industrial field, that how to make changes, how to make your life better and make your life more productive. So this is like in 18th century, there are steam engines came up. In 19th century, cars and many other machinery came up to make life easier. If if you allow me to suggest that another movie here, because we there are the concepts who they provided into those movies, like Charlie Chaplin in a factory. So that is the movie. But normally we watch movies for entertainment, but sometimes there are a lot of concepts there. Like I also suggest normally in my lectures, if you want to understand metaverse, obviously metaverse is a very big buzzword these days. If you want to understand the metaverse, go and watch the movie Ready Player One. That is a novel based movie. But we always see movies like in a fictional way or something like that, but we need to understand that there is some concept behind it always. If you want to understand the AI, there is another thing, the Free Guy, that is a game based movie. So we need, like, I'm a technologist and many of you as well, so we need to understand that what they have shown in that movie. So because we need to educate ourselves to educate other people. So that's actually the point. Then in 1969, there is Industrial Revolution 3.0, when TV came up, when radio came up, as well as when computers came up. So that is 69. And now we are in Industrial Revolution 4.0, where IoT came up. Everybody is using smartwatches these days. But what is the purpose of those smartwatches? Why we need those smartwatches, or why we need, like, smartphones? Why smartphones are there? People have no idea, because in Pakistan the iPhone is basically around 300,000 rupees. People have that phone, many people, but they have no idea what is the purpose of that phone. Most of us don't. Why? They have the iWatch, but they have no idea why they need that. They just wear that for the fashion. That is not the part. If I am the technologist and you guys are the technologists and many other guys are, so we need to understand that what is the purpose of that. Why I need to purchase this expensive thing? Otherwise I have no idea that what I am doing. So there is another thing, like uh, Industrial Revolution 5.0, which I'm talking about, that is based on, like, if IoT is not deployed in few years, or deployed first in the Industrial Revolution 4.0, then there is no reason that anybody can deploy 5.0, because 5.0 is based on mass communication and the Internet of Things as well. So for Industrial Revolution 5.0, we need to deploy Industrial Revolution 4.0. What are the components? Let's move forward. You have heard about the emerging technologies are coming up, and there is Web 3.0, but what is the part of that technology? This is this presentation, and thanks to the management and Mr. Ahmad Khalil, that they give me this chance to talk you about that. What is basically, where are the missing pieces? Which technology work at which place? Normally, if because all the technologies going to be integrated very soon. Like, if I talk about in years, next 2 years are for the IoT. Then there is 1 year for the IoE, Internet of Everything. Then AI came up. So in between, the blockchain is already there. So let's I'm going to tell you about that triangle as well. So in emerging technologies, we have data scientists. Like, as a joke, I always talk to my data sciences friends who are data scientists. So I tell them, this is your grace period going on, because there is no big data yet. Right now, if we understand, uh, almost per person per device, basically per person per second data rate is uploaded on the internet, that is 1.7 mbps. What does it mean? The law calculated into 60 for 1 hour, and then multiplied to 7 billion, that is 1 hours, or 1.7 into 7 billion, then you need 1 hour. So the 1 second data. So when big data hit the human race, then data scientists will come up and tell you that okay, now we are actually working in real space. Then there is a cloud computing. Already you knew about that, that how cloud computing will take over. We are already working in the data centers, but now it is we are working in the cloud computing since ages, you can say that. When we work on yahoo.com, there is an age of the yahoo.com. So we are working on that because all the emails are on the cloud computing, but now terminologies are changed. There is another field which is old but not going to be worked as the same like in near future, that is cybersecurity. Right now all the architectures are working on centralized architectures, but as in the previous presentation our colleague said, there is a decentralization coming up. In near future all the technologies going to be open source and decentralized. So all the policies we need with in the cybersecurity or security policies going to convert into the decentralization. So there is another technology like Internet of Things, then Internet of Everything, as I told you about, artificial intelligence, blockchain, Web 3.0, Metaverse. So how those will work, how those can be collaborated, what is the role of this every technology in this world, why we need those technologies. So this is the triangle I'm talking about. If I'm going to give you a brief intro about like Internet of Things, what is the role of Internet of Things? Let's convert, like play with the words. Internet of Things is equal to your data collection tool, right? That is just a data collection tool. It's already collected the data which is your data providing on or save on the internet, like your routines, like what you are purchasing, what you are doing, your routines and everything, that is based on your health records. So that is moving with from Internet of Things. So that is data keeping tool, sorry, data recording tool. Then there is a blockchain. What is blockchain? Blockchain obviously not about cryptocurrencies only. Blockchain is a record keeping tool. So because that is provide you the verifiable data, verifiable things. So you that is because of that, that is the immutable data. You are only able to add data in it, not able to delete data. So every data which is like uh, go through IoT, Internet of Things, they are collecting, that is going to save on a blockchain. So that become its make its verifiable. That is your health record, educational record, whatever it is, whatever the data is. So on that data, the artificial intelligence, which is basically a productivity tool, will give you that make your life more productive. How? On that data, like that verifiable data, it will provide you the results to make your life easier. Like the same, if we talk about like YouTube, you always see something that is suggested videos because you search something, then there are suggested videos. How that will came up? Recommended videos on the Netflix. So that is all based on your what you are searching, what you are viewing. On a Facebook, if you are going to purchase or something like on a Google, then how it will came up? That is all based on smart browsing. So art artificial intelligence making your life easier through basically artificial intelligence or productivity to make your life more productive. So this is a triangle we all need to understand. That is the IoT, that is data gathering tool. Then there is a blockchain, that is data keeping tool, and that is there is artificial intelligence, which is basically data. Sorry, that is a productivity tool. And there is another thing, that is metaverse. What is metaverse? Metaverse is basically an experiencing tool. Like if I want to purchase something, so I need to check that out. okay, I want to purchase this, and uh, that is basically and I want to experience that, like I want some shirt or something, so there is avatar or there is my original picture there in metaverse, so I am just checking out that how it will work. So that is metaverse. That so metaverse is an experiencing tool, but here we are using those words like buzzwords. I don't know why, but that is entirely a different ball game. So why it is important to understand this thing by some common person? Like if I'm talking about these technologies right now and tell you, okay, you go and talk about these things with the other person. Why? Because every person, like the sales management guy, like finance management guy, they need to understand that. Like the same, if these days finance guy have no idea about the Power BI and Excel, then he is not able to work. And as a technologist, as a product management guy, we need to understand what product we need. We need to understand that, okay, and in near future there are three type of jobs coming up, or three type of job roles coming up, you can say that. First one, architects, uh, regulators, and the other kind of policymakers, something. And there are second guys, those are ecosystem experts, like doctors, finance management guys, educationists, because they know the whole ecosystem. Then there are third person, that is a development guy, the project teams. So these, the above two, like regulators, architects, they work with the ecosystem guys, work together. That is 80% of the whole project. So they design, they make documents and everything, and they tell the development team, okay, we need this thing. That is end result and goal we need. So they will develop that. So this is basically the reason we all need to understand these technologies. Otherwise, that will make our life very problematic, because we have no idea how it will work. But that is the thing. And again, this is all the existing technology is not going to work the same in near future. Like I told you about, there is another revolution coming up, which is called decentralized open source things. Right now, if we say about the networks, there is a you say monopoly is going on about the networks, because if we go in past, like you say in 2010, yes, 2010, then Cisco routers are unable to work with the Huawei routers, or Huawei switches are unable to work with Nortel. Nortel is so there is Nortel is not able to work with the Cisco. So we need to formulate those things and start mapping or something like that to make those things. So, so the same thing's going to be happen now. Later on, they make those things generic or license based or something. So there is a monopoly of all everything. So we need to, as a architects, as a technologists, we need to understand this. If we make some products for the IoT that going to be integrated with the blockchain near future, as well as going to be work with the AI. Like if I'm going to design a driverless car and there is no provisioning for the blockchain to save data later on, then how it will work in the future? So we need to understand these things, that existing technologies are not going to work the same in near future. Like all the policies, everything is going to be like you say like to convert or something like uh, uh, like centralized and the decentralized. Everything is going to convert into decentralized. So we need to make policy for the decentralized, like I've told you about a few minutes ago, like the cybersecurity policies, we need to make them decentralized. for the decentralization. So that is basically how the policy will change and everything. So what is basically IoT? If I give you an example for the IoT, or we talk about the, like, things will connect with the human being through some communication medium. So that is basically IoT. If I give you an example, you are leaving for from your office or your university to home, and you open the AC's API, the application of your AC, the air condition on your phone, and just click that, okay, at 6:30 please on. You came home, you got the cool environment. So that is basically IoT. Like, you did the same for your coffee machine, you did the same for your music system, you are going to, you do the same with your lighting and anything else, music system and something. So they actually you give them orders to do that. So that is big, because all the devices connected to you directly through some medium on some application or something like that. So they give a human a value. Then now go towards that is the first next 2 years I talked about. Then there is come internet of everything, when every device is connected to every other device. Previous example I told that every, you go to the every application and give them order on every application. Just remember that. Later on, you just, that is going to be very generic, and just like these days we use WhatsApp, and sometimes we have no idea that we are responding somebody on a WhatsApp or on a SMS message. Sometimes, to be honest, I don't. Sometimes we just reply their call. We have no idea about that we are replying or calling him on a WhatsApp or on a cellular call. So that's happening because now everybody is using that. So late afterwards, when everybody is using it, that is considered as a normal life. That happen. Internet of everything, where everybody is connected, every device is connected to every other device. That is very generic. What, you only order your AC, and then AC, your air conditioner, will tell everybody that he is coming home at 6:30. Please on or make coffee or be ready. He's coming to home. And if we put some threshold here, what we do, like, make the process and give them the threshold. Okay, if my routine remains the same for 3 days, learn it. That is a little part of AI coming up. You have seen that the same thing in your iPhone or whatever your phone are using. If we put alarm on the same time, if we put alarm on the same time for the same time, like I am going to add alarm or enable alarm like at night 11:30 p.m. for morning for my Fajr prayer, like 3:30 p.m. 3:30 a.m. Then after 3 days, that phone asked me, okay, do you want to add your alarm? So that is AI. That is part of AI. I'm not going to say that that is the all AI, but that is part of that. That function is part of AI because it learned from my routine, and that routine came up from some verifiable data. As I told you about the triangle, you need to understand that triangle and remember that. So we are using chatbots. So okay, then let's go into the previous example and move, like, then AC. I put the threshold into the my system that if I do same thing this for next 3 days, learn it. Now he will ask me, okay, are you coming home? Sometimes when I give this example, I'll normally jokes apart, I normally say people that, okay, it looks like a wifey thing, right? So you are coming home. so people so that is basically ask you that you are coming home. The coffee machine asks you, okay, are you coming home? Can I make a coffee for you at 6:30? So that is what. In AI, we are already using chatbots. We are already using face recognition systems. That is, uh, as I previously told you about the Galaxy thing, and the there is another use case we make. Like, if some thief have done something, and he's not able to, if it can save, not able to leave the city, leave the country or something, if that may do something wrong to somebody, some person, and all the cameras have that facial recognition systems. So that is AI, all the neural networks we are talking about, that networks always learn things, because if we make policies in the networks, then there it always if and buts, like that is a loop coming on. So that is basically we already using all these things. Surgical robots we are using, right? So this is what's happening. uh, about blockchain, as always, actually, as I already told you about, that the blockchain is not only about the cryptocurrencies. If we talk about the cryptocurrency, or that, and also please understand that that is not only for the finance system as well. That is a big misconception. Wherever you need record something, you have a record, you want to save data, you able to use a blockchain. That's another thing, that's another you say talk about. We are using blockchain at some place or not, that is based on surveys. As a blockchain expert, I always do the surveys. Okay, this in this scenario, you able to use blockchain, but you need a blockchain or not. Like, we are talking about the digital identities. Like, there is another thing these days, everybody, again, a buzzword about NFTs. NFT is not about only pictures. NFT is each and everything on a internet with the unique identity. Like Mona Lisa painting. Why Mona Lisa painting is about the millions of dollars? Because that is made by some specific person on some specific time, with some specific paints on some specific canvas. That is the because of that millions of dollars. Like football, like 1996 World Cup football. Why that is for millions of dollars? Because that is for some specific time. So the thing is, uh, NFT, like I am on a digital identity, I am myself an NFT. So yes, obviously digital identities are unreplaceable, and that is based on your IPv6 and your many other things. All the attributes made your one digital identity, and that is saved on blockchain. And that is one major thing, that you nobody is able to there is no crime like identity theft afterwards, because you anybody which like, because identities are irreplaceable. That is based on IPv6, your date of birth. I'm just giving an example, that the multiple attributes, like my height, like many other attributes I can add in it. So that will make me different from other person. Like many people have written on the Facebook, you might read 1 in a 7 billion. So that thing make you 1 in a 7 billion. So digital identities I talked about. Then there is the education system. There is no forgery of education certificates when we put every certificate on a blockchain. Any other thing, like you can save money out of it. That is another thing. Your healthcare records, nobody can cheat. If some person, some player moving from one country to another country and want to cheat somebody, that I am physically fit, he is unable to do that, because that is a verifiable record available on a blockchain. So blockchain are the transactional records only. That is nothing more than that. So that is, you say, the most secured database. which is based on nodes, which we normally say minors, but okay, we will convert minors into the verifiers for instance for a while. That is equal to verifiers. So that is basically the whole thing. The whole idea of the blockchain came up, how it will work. And then there is another technology came up. We all have heard about, that is 5G. Why we need 5G? 5G is 100 times faster than 4G. Why we need 5G? Because we are unable to bear the disconnection in, like I give you an example, like there is somebody, or there is some surgery going on within some hospital, and there is get disconnected. So how it will work? That is a disaster, right? So the same thing, if there is some you put some wristband, the health band to some patient, and it got disconnected, then what you think out of it? So we are unable to disconnect, and that is 5G is also based on decentralization. So that's another talk. We are not going to, too much in it, but that is the whole architecture is decentralized based. So the device which you are using going to be become a booster and a connectivity device to some other device. So that is basically how it works. So when they are working, actually, that's another I want to add something. When they are working on on a 5G, they must you said they keep in mind the IoT, the mass communication, and and the IPv6, because you guys already knew that there is only one IPv6 for one identity, because that will be work on every device of that. So that is multi-device IPv6 on the IPv6 architecture. If we talk about that, is a detailed discussion. We will do that on some other time, inshallah. So many countries are working on a 5G these days, and these are few countries I've already mentioned. So they already achieved the speed of 506.1 Mbps on consumer level. That is the consumer level speed. Metaverse, I already talked you about that. This is an experimental tool, and there are two types when we talk about the AR and VR. So what is AR? That is augmented reality, and there is a VR, that is a virtual reality. If we talk about the metaverse, uh, actually, to be honest, we already living in the virtual world. You just think, if you are sitting on a Facebook, you are just scrolling, and when you see the watch, there is 1 hour gone. Then there are 2 hours, 3 hours gone, and you have no idea about. We all do that normally. And you might have seen the children how when they are playing playing some game, how they move their body like right. So we all need to understand that this is how it will work. Just let me, okay, sorry. So metaverse is basically something very you say make your life more easier. Okay, I was talking about the AR and VR and everything else. How AR works, that is augmented reality. Like they are using your existing environment and give you some uh, add on in it. Like you are going somewhere and there is a billboard you see, and you want to purchase something, and you just okay. There is another example I want to give you. Like if we right now everybody has the name within this you say within this conference. But if we sit together at some place, like in some hall, then I just entered as a speaker, and they just updated my glasses with some software, because it has some chip or something in it. And when I see everybody, there is name and his designation with company, coming up on his head. Right now, we wear badges, but there is no need of badges. So we can save a lot of money of the paper these afterwards. And it might be their contact number. So that is basically augmented reality. And then there is the virtual world, like virtual reality. Like as I talked to you about the Facebook, we are already in the virtual world. So when I put Oculus and entered my login into the Facebook, and right now there is a green dot came up when somebody is online, and later on I just saw that person with me, sitting their avatar sitting with me. So there is nothing existed, and there is a virtual world. So I just sign out and just go into the Google's metaverse. Then I am able to read my email in front of the other avatar, other other friends avatar. Right? I'm not able to just send them an email. So this is how it works in the near future. This is not too far, because there is a one rule on the digital transformation. I hope you already knew that. Uh, because all the infrastructures are up already. So what exactly, every disastrous changes in the technology field will half their time, right? If we compare ourselves from 2000 to 2020, there are too much changes in last 20 years. Now those disastrous changes came up, the major changes came up in next 10 years. Like in 2030, we are going to see a lot of changes. Then in next 5 years, next every 2.5 years, there are going to be a lot of changes coming up. So this is how things will work and everything. These are the actually those smart projects I've been talked about. There are multiple smart projects came up. So there is no when we talk about only one project, okay, that's one project, but there is, you can do some innovation in it with some other projects to make them work together. Right now many things not. This is basically I made this up. Actually, this is my avatar, my friend sent me. So uh, if we build up a home, and or you have visited somebody to build some home for you, or some property for you, or you want to purchase some flat or something, want to rent it out. So there is a treadmill, the multi-dimensional treadmill, and you just put on the Oculus or some glasses, the general glasses. Then you just move on. They give you an experience. Okay, there is a kitchen, and there is your room, and something like that. So I made this actually for I just provide give that presentation to the architects, that this is the future of architects of the world. This is not something very far away, but soon it will going to be happen. This is a coffee machine. Actually, I like coffee and mention coffee everywhere. So this is basically, it's the same thing. We already discussed that how AI will work, and how this life cycle will work. Like how uh, the coffee machine, which is IoT device machine, will learn and save my routines with the blockchain, and AI will using that information to order my the coffee I have purchased already, and then in any form. So that is basically the whole thing. What's next? There is a lot of denial coming up. A lot of denial coming up. Like, if you guys are technologists, you might understand that if we go to some old guy with the innovative idea, he'll say, "Oh, what are you talking about?" So, so next 10 years are very important for the technologists, because we need to make policies, we need to change the policies, we need to make new things. There are new goals. There is a lot of things coming up in next 10 years. So we need to be ready. We need to make people ready, actually. So this is the purpose of this presentation, with which these everybody gave me to present you guys. This is the idea of everything. This is basically not the end. These are the new ideas I might talk about, and many other things I talked about already. So there are new thoughts always. There are new dreams. There are new canvases we always open. There are new roads. So we need to understand that. This is my book, actually, Blockchain Beyond Bitcoin. This is available for free if you guys want to download it. That is a QR code. You can take picture of it, and you just that is freely available on some website. Actually, I've I did not remember the website. Actually, my apologies for that. And if you guys want to connect with me, this is so. That's it, actually. So if you have any questions, Sir Ahmed, up to you.
Thank you, Ahmed, for the great presentation. I personally am a technophile, so I like talking about technology, so I enjoyed your presentation so much.
Thank you very much.
We have one question, but I think we will have more now as well.
Okay.
Which is the most important technology to transform the economy of countries in financial and crisis? Like, for example, we have Lebanon, Sri Lanka, and many other countries. Which is the most important technology that can change these countries?
Basically, actually, sir, there is one. I have given a talk uh, today in a TV channel that how technology will boost our economies of these countries. We need to start from one step, like make our own products. Right now, we are using the products of other countries, right? But we need to make our own products in any case, in anything. So that will boost us. Like we are using WhatsApp. Who made the WhatsApp? We are using Facebook. Who made that thing? So many people I have known in Arab countries, mashallah, they are taking these initiatives, making their own products. So we need to collaborate and work together. Actually, this is what actually we need to understand, that we need, like as a Muslim world, we need to collaborate with each other, and we need to like praise each other and work together to make other make ourselves proud, you can say that. Okay, so we need to make those products by our own, not to just. So that's basically the idea. Like I've told, like IoT, let's make some IoT, like make some smart home product. Why not? We already using Google Home. Why not we make our own, right? Or some cloud we are going to use. Why not? So that's the idea. Basically, we need to build up our own products. So this is what I personally think, that we actually far behind from people.
In general, it's about all the countries in Africa and the Middle East that they need to collaborate on this.
Yes, yes, yes. We need to collaborate on this. Yes.
Okay, the second question is how can companies start using Metaverse?
Oh, that's a very good question. Actually, to be honest, that's a very good question. We need to, as I told during the session, this is an experience. Let's make some shop like e-commerce. Every country have the e-commerce. Every country have the e-commerce website. Let's make that e-commerce website a metaverse website. Why not? So if we start like you say souk in Arab world, I know souk is very popular website. Let's make it a metaverse based website. When every somebody go there, he will able to experience that product. Why not? So that's the first step, and make people to use that with ease, not to make that complicated thing, because people normally make things complicated, so nobody can understand that, right? So we need to make things easier to everybody, to make them understandable. I hope I give the answer. My email address, let me write in a chat actually. Just hold on.
So please, if you have other questions, Anar and Sultan and Rupa, kindly write them down so we can have a look, and we still have around a couple of minutes.
This is my LinkedIn. I am just typing, and you can connect me on LinkedIn as well.
Thank you for the links, and I'm sure after when we will add the video to the webs of the event, so
Sure.
people can ask questions and get in touch with you.
Yeah, sure, sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me here. And thanks a lot for the wonderful audience. We will be in touch, inshallah.
Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you
Take care. Bye
everyone
bye.
for attending today. This was the last session for today, and tomorrow we have two more sessions, and we have two sessions by the end of the week. Thank you.
Okay, cool, cool. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks a lot. Very nice meeting you all.
Thanks a lot.
Jazakumullah khair.